had surgery in August of 2014. I have lost right around 95 pounds. Yeah, I was around puberty. I was around 12. I really started putting on weight. And I was always the biggest girl in class. I was always the biggest girl in my group of friends, which they never made me feel out of place, but I just always knew that I could never borrow clothes from anyone or anything like that. And so I started at I think very early at 12, and then it just went on from there, and I was always bigger, always the biggest person like in my group of friends, and always plus size. Looking back, my friends were very accepting, and I was very loved, but it always made me self-conscious. Deep down, I was always worried about how I looked in something, worried about trying to hide my weight in clothes and things like that. You tend to hide behind your clothes or being funny. I always felt very loved, but I always was so self-conscious about the way I looked and about the way I stood and about the way I wore my clothes, you know. And that started, like I said, so very early that I just tended to hide it behind those kinds of things. I can tell you anything and everything there is to know on the market from 2014 on. I mean, I have done everything under the sun. I have taken every pill, done every box dinner, anything that you can imagine, Pilates to Brazilian butts. I tried everything. After my third baby, I always seesawed the same 30 pounds constantly. And we had gone on vacation to the beach, and I saw pictures of myself in a swimsuit. Collins was like 5 months old, and I decided that is not what I wanted to look like for the rest of my life. Well, I guess one of the times was when I went to buy clothes for the first time. I walked in. I had been losing weight, been on my spiral and gotten down and been wearing the same. My lowest clothes that I had in my closet were size 16, and so I had been wearing those. I'd been rolling them, and we went shopping in New Orleans at a White House Black Market. And I walked in, and they asked me what size I needed, and I said, "Well, I really don't know because I haven't bought clothes in about 6 months." And so the lady started bringing clothes, and then they started bringing smaller sizes, and I just felt like, Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. I think I have a much more active lifestyle. I'm able to get down and do more with my children. I don't get near as tired standing up working because I own a salon, and it doesn't bother me to stand up for 8 to 10 hours. I'm able to just enjoy a more active lifestyle. We went horseback riding and zip lining and all these great things this summer, and whitewater rafting, and I would have never ever done that, being as big as I was prior to surgery. Oh no, my biggest regret was not having surgery earlier. I mean, if I could do it, I wish I would have done it at 20 instead of 30 or 32. Well, after surgery, you kind of go through, you mourn the loss of food, I think. That was a really big thing for me, is that I really liked to eat, and I probably self-medicated with eating too. I really didn't think I did when I was eating. I thought, I'm just really hungry. But in my mind, I don't think I was hungry, it was just an emotion. I was an emotional eater. And so I think that was a big deal for a little while, that you really mourn the loss of your food. But then when you get that new lease and you realize that, you want a healthier lifestyle, and you start feeling better and realize that you don't have to eat to feel that way. And so I think that was one of my really big things. And it's just an emotional time, because you're letting go of an old lifestyle and you're learning your new lifestyle. My husband and I share, or I share with one of the kids, and sometimes I might, if I really want a salad or something that I want of my own, I'll get it and just take it home. But I do think that I think you can't deprive yourself, but you also have to understand that it's a waste of food to order at a family style restaurant when you're not going to be able to, that would bother me more, the big plate of food sitting there that I couldn't eat. And so if my husband and I share, or if one of my girlfriends and I go to lunch, they're like, we'll share, and now I can do that and I'm full. Whereas I used to well, I'd eat my plate plus what. Well, I think you have to weigh your options, and as far as my options were looking, I had horrible varicose veins. I was almost 300 pounds, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to stand up and work at my job that I love to do for the rest of my, career at that weight. I knew eventually my knee would blow out or something was going to happen, and I wouldn't be able to do what I really loved to do, and that was hair. And also raising my kids and just being an active mom. I wanted to be able to do all the things that I saw other moms doing and have fulfillment, at my job, and not feel like, well, in 10 years I'll have to have 2 knee replacements because you won't be able to stand up. And my dad had a hip replacement, needed to have a hip replacement. And that was another kind of one of the wow factors. We'd gone to the beach and my dad couldn't get around. And I was like, we're not doing this. I'm not going to do this. And my dad ended up having surgery also and got a new hip, and he's doing fantastic. But that was really one of my big things, was that I just wanted to be able to healthy for the rest of my life and not, overweight. And I think that you weigh your options: heart attack, knee surgeries, or weight loss surgery. And the answer was very clear to me at that point. Children recognized, they were like, sometimes in pictures they look at me and they're like, "Mommy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that was Mommy," and my oldest daughter's like, "You were always beautiful, Mommy." Well, yeah, I was, but now Mommy's healthier and I feel better. And my kids, we want to have an active lifestyle, and we so I wanted them to understand that, you can't be the size I was and be able to ride bikes and go on walks and, not be out of breath.